first it's better to go Alistair, draw some cards, and we could pitch away some energies. We want to pitch away 3 energies. I mean, we literally kind of hit the jackpot turn 1. Let's go ahead like this. Let's go ahead like this. And we are going to be hitting for 60 damage with Blissful Blast. And we are going to be able to get 3 energies. You are now watching Zacian, the best place to learn about competitive Pokemon TCG. Let's get it! Yo, what's poppin' peeps? Welcome back to the channel, Zacian here. Today we're going to be going over one of the available decks on PTCG Live when you start off free to play, and that's the Blissey V Deck. Now, Blissey V to me is one of the more early, better decks that's available in the game, and it's very reminiscent of a competitive Blissey V deck. I mean, it might not be the absolute best deck in the world when you're comparing it to Mew VMAX, but Blissey V does seem very good if you are starting off PTCG Live free to play. I normally cover over competitive content when it comes to my channel, so if you are new to the game playing PTCG Live, it is one of those things where this video will help you explain what the deck list can do in terms of the strategy, especially if you're new to entering into Pokemon. So we'll be jumping over to PTCG Live, showing you the deck, showing you the strategy, and maybe we'll go over a couple cards that you might want to add into the deck if you're interested in crafting some cards there. Give this video a thumbs up if you haven't already, and by thumbs up I mean hitting that like button, subscribing to the channel if you haven't already for more great Pokemon content, whether you're new to the game, trying to become the most competitive player. We have all type of content for everybody, and let me know in the comments what else you want to see content wise. That being said, let's jump into this deck list. So here we have it, the Blissey V deck on PTCG Live. So for those of you who might not have played PTCG Live or are new to it, it does come with pre-constructed versions of Blissey, Decidueye, Rapid Strike Malamar, etc. There's like 9 awesome decks that you get, which is absolutely amazing. Shout out to whichever team created these decks, because they're very competitive cards available in these decks, and you can kind of use those cards to build other decks too. But if you're new to the game, I recommend playing one of them. Blissey V is one of my personal favorites, and the strategy is pretty straightforward, but if you're new to Pokemon, you might not necessarily get it. So jumping in with Blissey V, we have whenever you attach an energy card from your hand, you recovers from all special conditions. That's not really what we're looking at this card for. We're really looking at it when it comes to Blissful Blast. Blissful Blast to me I think is going to be the strongest aspect of this deck. So you do 10 plus 30 for each energy attached to this Pokemon. If you do any damage counters or any damage with this attack, you may attach up to 3 energy cards from your discard pile to this Pokemon. Blissey builds up a bunch of energies, powerful colorless energies, lucky energies to draw more cards, and you're able to kind of attack and attack and attack. The reason why I like this deck so much more compared to all the other decks is that you have ways to knock out Shadow Riders and Zacians on Mazentas. Like, you're not going to get countered early on the PTCG Live ladder. Now there's cards like Dunsparce that help you out against Rapid Strike decks. Cape of Toughness gives you extra HP. You have Hyper Potion to heal those things off, so this is really where the strategy goes in there. We're using Hyper Potion to heal, pitch 2 energies. You can get those energies back at the end of your turn, so your Blissey stays alive pretty much forever. So I think this one looks the most competitive. You have Lucky Ice Pop for more heal. Getting a little bit lucky would be certainly awesome. You have Path to the Peak to slow down your opponent's abilities, so maybe they're not going to play those Crobat down to draw more cards, or use Shadow Rider to draw extra cards with its ability and attaching extra energies. You can get through things like Zacian V, stopping them from using Intrepid Sword. You could search for some of your supporters, and you have more ways to heal, more ways to heal. You can see it's very healing, tanky kind of base thing. So if you like a deck that you can kind of just have one Pokemon out there and really tank it out for the game, it's very good. Alistair is interesting. You get to draw 3 cards. You mainly want to pitch energies away when it comes down to this card, so that you can get those energies and then use Blissful Blast to get them energies attached for next turn. Boss orders to bring up whatever your opponent's Pokemon have. Research allows you to discard energies. Sometimes you do not want to attach before you play Research, because you want to get that energy in the discard pile so you can attach more energies per turn. Zinnia's Resolve, again, discarding base things to discard those energies. And you have Capture Energies that you could use to search out a Blissey V or against a fighting type deck at Dunsparce. You have Lucky Energy, which allows you to draw cards. Be careful not to deck out with this one. Decking out is a win condition, especially since every single time your opponent attacks, all the Lucky Energy stacks, so you could draw quite a few cards. I've caught myself in that situation a few times. And there's Powerful Colorless Energy, doing 20 more damage. So these ones are the best ones to attach, because you do an extra bit of damage for each energy on top of the Blissful Blast. And then Psychic Energies that we really only have because of Suspicious Food Tin. So Blissey V overall, I think it's probably the most competitive out of these decks right at the gate. So let's jump into a game to show you exactly what I'm talking about. So we're going to start off by calling the opening coin flip. Let's go ahead and call heads. They got tails, so we don't get to choose. I'm kind of torn on if it's better to go first or second with Blissey. Sometimes you want to be going first, getting that energy, so Blissful Blast is doing more damage turn 2. Or maybe you want to be going second so that you can get more energies, accelerated to do more damage with Blissful Blast. I think either way is fine, as long as you start with Blissey. Our hand's like okay here, so we're going to start with the Blissey. I mean, our hand's okay because we do not have a supporter. Supporter cards are very good at making sure your deck is set up. Professor's Research, having access to just things like Zinnias and stuff like that. It looks like we're playing against the Zacian kind of start deck when it comes to this, so it should be a pretty fair matchup. We'll give our opponent a nice smile, start off the game. Hopefully it's not too creepy and that we don't come on too much, but we'll see. I do want to let everyone know that, like, if you are new to the game, by all means feel free to ask any questions here. It's a judgment-free zone. If you are someone who regularly watches my videos, you might not necessarily be involved in the Blissey V start deck for PTCG Live. I do have a lot of other content coming in the way to make sure that everyone is well equipped to play Pokemon in general. So let's see what our opponent's going to be doing. They're taking a little bit of time, more than most, to get set up, but that's okay. They might be playing the game for the first time. Right now, at the time of recording, it's the PTCG Live Canadian beta. I'm lucky enough to be Canadian during this time to play it, but we'll have to see how it looks like once everything else comes out. And, oh, we got some extra things, so let's go ahead. We're going to draw 2 extra cards because our opponent didn't have basics. And there's one of those supporters that we were talking about, like the Alistair. So I'm completely fine with this. You don't really want to put other Blissey down unless you need to. I think that's a really good thing. You don't need to worry about things too much. Their Diago's like cool, but I don't think it's necessarily going to do too much or that we should be too worried about it. I think our big thing is lucky at maybe going for Alistair, seeing what cards we draw, pitching some cards from our hands, and I think we'd be in a pretty good spot there overall. It's like our opponent's just taken an opportunity to figure out what's going on with their board states. I mean, the Blissey deck is pretty aggressive. Even like against the Zamazenta, they do 130. We could do way more than 130. We do get through their Dauntless Shield because we are not a VMAX Pokemon. So even in the early metagame, like, this deck does fairly well against most of the other decks in that kind of range. I saw the most success moving up the rank ladder with it. So let's see what we can get going on here. First, Cape of Toughness, definitely a good card to slap on, but first it's better to go Alistair, draw some cards, and we could pitch away some energies. I mean, I think the energies that we probably want to pitch are this. We want to pitch away 3 energies. I mean, we literally kind of hit the jackpot turn 1. In the powerful colorless energy, we could do even more damage, so let's put those 3 away so that we can get it off with Blissful Blast. Let's go ahead like this. Let's go ahead like this. And we are going to be hitting for 60 damage with Blissful Blast, and we are going to be able to get 3 energies back with Blissful Blast. So you got to think, on our first turn being able to get 4 energies, and we're hitting really hard with Blissful Blast. So 10 plus 30, I think it's 10 plus 30 for each energy. So that's 130 plus the 20 from Powerful Colorless Energy. So that's 150 damage, and we're ready to go for next turn. And we have all these healing cards like Suspicious Food Tin and Potion, and we could go Boss's Orders. This deck, you don't really need a lot to keep rolling, but we're in a pretty good spot anyways. I think that's a pretty cool aspect about this deck. And our opponent's probably like, uh-oh, that's tough. And I'm fine getting Marnie because our hand wasn't the greatest hand. We just had some healing cards. So let's see what we're able to get off this Marnie. Path to the Peak might be okay. We have some more healing cards. We do have another energy. Maybe we're going to draw closer into getting a stadium. If our opponent does attack us, we do have access to our lucky energy. So just kind of going through our energies here. You can see that the lucky energy allows you every single time that the Pokemon is attached to an active spot and it's damaged by an attack. Even if it's knocked out, draw a card. So we could even just get a card here, a card there. We're in a pretty good spot to just kind of roll through this game. Their damage is relatively low, so we are likely surviving attacks. And I mean, we could get super lucky with Lucky Ice Pop. That'd be certainly cool. And win or loss, it's all about if you're able to get your strategy off correctly, playing correctly, and really growth as a player. So they're just going to pass, see what we can get going on. Potion's not bad. I think what I'm going to do is drop a Path to the Peak in play, so this is going to stop their abilities from working. They might have a Zacian V that's able to try to draw cards if they're trying to get out of things, but let's just try to attach another energy. We're swinging for 200 damage, so I think we're in a really good spot there. The thing that's tough is that their Assault Tackle does take away an energy, but right now we have plenty of energies, plenty of ways to heal. I think we're in a really good spot here, specifically against this matchup. And again, this is why I think that Blissey V is such a good deck when it comes to playing around with these new concepts. So let me know in the comments, out of all the other decks, are there any other decks that you've been experimenting with? Any decks that you want covered when it comes to PTCG Live? I know that I've been building some own decks, and we can actually cover after this some cards that I might add into a Blissey V deck to make it thematically better. Because these decks are good, but they're not concrete the best. I think there's a lot of really cool things that we might want to add into these decks before, if you're ever trying to upgrade it. Let's say you're a fan of the Blissey V strategy, you're like, how do I make this deck even more competitive? We could definitely do that. Oh, and it looks like they're just going Bird Keeper into the Oranguru. They might be sacrificing that Oranguru because they do not have an energy. We'll see what they end up doing. Oh, they're just going to pass there. Awesome. So we'll totally take that. Research is fine. We'd like to play it otherwise, but we don't want to lose all these healing cards because we could actually survive for quite a while. So we're going to go Blissful Blast. Simple knockout. Quick, efficient. There you go. There you have it. There is that other prize card, and hopefully it's an energy. It's a Pokégear. It could be an Alistair, could be a Zinnia. Those are really great if you don't want to pitch your entire hands. And let's see what our opponent's going to be choosing here. So here's Zamazenta V. We might be seeing a Dauntless Shields, an Assault Tackle coming off against our Blissey to remove one of our energies. And if not, I think we have a good opportunity to knock out the Zamazenta V. We're one energy away, but there is that metal energy, and they will be able to attack us. But this is going to trigger our healing, and I think we're just good to roll. So there's the Assault Tackle. We do draw another card because of the lucky energy. I believe we do. But they're probably going to discard a powerful colorless energy if they want to choose correctly. Suspicious, or the Psychic Energy would be really good too, especially if they're anticipating the Suspicious Food Tin. Or actually, they can't discard the Psychic Energy. It's not Special Energy. Either way, that's fine. We're going to start things off by what we don't know. And we're going to start off by going Lucky Ice Pop. So Lucky Ice Pop, you get to flip a coin. You might be able to get it back. Heads, you can see that we're going to get it back into our hands. So you can get a little bit lucky with cards like this and continuously roll. It's kind of crazy when it comes down to the Lucky Ice Pop. That's 1 heads. 1 tails. I mean, that's pretty reasonable. It could be in the other way, but you want to let's go for the other Lucky Ice Pop. Maybe we could heal off everything, you know what I'm saying? There's another heads. You know what we're saying? Lucky Ice Pop. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go ahead. Try Lucky Ice Pop again. We're going to go ahead. Ooh, we got another heads. Let's go. We are so close to just being able to heal everything off with Lucky Ice Pop. Lucky Ice Pop again. We're down to 30. Come on, let's get another heads. It's got to be a tails, but you want to know between the 2 Lucky Ice Pops and the potion, we are able to heal everything off from what our opponent just did. And now we could even go in something like Pokégear, seeing exactly what's up. You can see something like Zinnia's, getting that out of the way. I think I'm still fine holding on. Our opponent did no damage. We still have Suspicious Food Tin, and we are just going to go Blissful Blast. So not a knockout, but we are going to be able to get back the energy and put it on there. And our opponent did nothing to us, and we did 170 to them. You can see how we're able to outpace our opponent and really put them in a really tough position. So holding on to those healing cards is going to be very big when it comes down to it. And they're just probably going to try to get set up, but we could just roll through their Pokemon eventually. You don't need a whole bunch of Blissey Vs. Sometimes you need one to just roll through a game, and it's absolutely amazing when it does work out like that. It's really just thinking about what our opponent's going to be doing, what we're able to heal next turn. I mean, it looks like they're pretty much stuck at doing 130 damage. We could just go Hyper Potion, get our energies back with Blissful Blast. So it's really good to kind of fit into that strategy. even if we might go Hyper Potion, then go Research, just so we can build up more energies. You want to eventually get your Blissey into that OHKO range, so even if you use Hyper Potion, or cards your opponent uses, Assault Tackle or Crushing Hammer, you have ways around it. And I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a concession from our opponents. I wouldn't be surprised if they just retreated or sent up a Guru. I mean, these are things that don't really do things to the grand scheme of things. I think our opponent's just sacrificing a prize card. Doesn't change much here at all. Just getting an extra energy, and that's fine. We don't really need too much. We could just go ahead and attack because we are getting the knockout on the Guru. We really don't need too much. Again, you could play this deck very passively, but you also want to be thinking from a methodical standpoint, thinking about your actions, thinking about your cards. We have healing cards. Our opponent's not knocking us out. We don't need to really OHKO them or knock them out in one hit, that is. So let's go ahead and see how it goes. They have one Pokemon left. If we knock this one out, we get to win the game. And I mean, winning games is a great way to build up your rank in the game. And there's that Assault Tackle. So even if they were to do anything, we could heal off all this damage just with Hyper Potion alone. So let's go ahead and we'll go ahead and try this out, just so that we can show you how the whole strategy of the deck. We could heal everything off. There's Lucky Ice Pop. There's the Coin Flip. We got Tails, but it doesn't matter. We're able to go Hyper Potion, removing, and our opponent's just going to concede. So we take the dub. That's how the Blissey deck wins. So here you have it, the Blissey V deck. I've updated a little bit to include some cards from Brilliant Stars and just some general upgrades. So the list is going to be in the description. You can copy and paste that right into PTCG Live. Things that we've changed are basically cutting the Dunsparce and increasing some counts of some cards. I'm not entirely sure if the base version had 3 or 4 Cape of Toughness, but I do have 4 here. We have 4th Path to the Peak to make sure that we're able to lock our opponents out of games a little bit more. We do have access to Team Yell Towel now, giving ourselves additional ways to heal secure damage instead of flipping coins. Lucky Ice Pop is really cool, but I'm not usually a huge fan of flipping coins. We have access to Ultra Ball now to discard extra energy, so we're able to use Blissful Blast for more damage relatively quickly. We have Pokemon Center later, so again, more secured healing of damage. We also have access to Double Turbo Energy. So Double Turbo Energy, while it does minus 20, it does count as 2 energies, so you're doing more damage overall. It's an additional 60 damage instead of an energy that would be an additional 30 damage. So this would be 60 minus 20 is 40, and a normal energy would just be plus 30. So while this isn't necessarily as strong as a powerful colorless energy, it is the second best energy to attach to do more damage, and it does allow you to get out of retreating situations, and it's very good overall. You could even just pitch away multiples of these and get them back because it gets back energy cards from Blissful Blast. So a really cool thing over there. So again, the list is right here. You can check that out. Feel free to kind of screen cap. It's 4 of the energies at the end, so 4, 4, 4, 4. And the list is going to be available in the description. And that's what we got going on for this video today, peeps. Hopefully you enjoyed seeing what this Blissey V deck could do on PTCG Live. Again, I think it's an absolutely great deck to start off playing early PTCG Live when you have nothing else. It's a great way to move up the ladder, and it's one of those cool decks, and I hope that the strategy there allows you to kind of grow with the game. I know that playing any kind of new game or Pokemon for the first time might be daunting. You have to understand all the rules. That's why this channel is there for you, so you're able to figure out what's going on and quickly learn the ropes of this game. And I hope that PTCG Live gets you in there. Like I said, always give this video a like, thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already to just learn more about Pokemon TCG in general. And let me know in the comments if there's any content you want to see with PTCG Live or anything else with that. That being said, I am going to go edit this video. I'll catch up with all y'all later. Peace out and have a great day. I truly appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch this video. It means the world to me. And my goal with this channel is to spread my love of the game and knowledge with our entire Pokemon TCG community. If you haven't already, help signal boost this video to other Pokemon TCG fans by liking it, sharing it with your friends, and subscribing to the channel. Hopefully we reach our goals really soon. Check out this recommended video and have yourself a great day. Thanks.